So, all right, maybe call the meeting to order of the Executive Committee meeting on Wednesday, July 7th. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bates.
Here.
Berman.
Here.
Berman here.
Ford.
Present.
Fries.
Here.
Gums.
Drums here.
Kenyon.
Here.
Caius.
Caius present.
Martin.
Present.
Molina.
Molina present.
Sanchez.
Here.
Strathman.
Strathman here.
Sturgis.
Sturgis here.
Tepe.
Deputy here.
Pepro.
Here.
Thank you.
Very good.
Davist here.
Oh, thank you,
I'm
Mr.
sorry, Mr. Davist. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Davis, as you know the rules of the House, the last one in gets to say the Pledge of Allegiance. So I think this is your second time, so you're going to get good at it. So I'm teasing you, but could you please lead us in the pledge?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation under God,
one nation
indivisible,
under God,
with
indivisible,
and justice for all.
with liberty and justice for all.
A lot of practice.
You know,
Thank God we're not choir.
Yeah.
we'll have to have more meetings.
Peter Maver. Can't handle it.
Everybody else is.
Under God.
Davis did well. Thank you, Mr. Davis. May I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the June 2nd, 2021 meeting? Yes. Name?
Berman second.
Shepro? And who?
Caius second.
Caius? Caius second. Very good.
I have a question.
Yes, yes, sir.
Was, like Kenyon, was Weber here? He was marked president, the thing I read.
Mm-mm.
On June 2nd? Yeah.
I would suspect he was not.
No.
No.
I'd
Yeah.
just take that off.
Okay.
Okay.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, I read it. See if you can, this is always a test to see if any, put something in the minutes that's really crazy and see who catches it.
Good catch.
Yes.
It's very good. No, good catch. That is a good catch. Thank you for the correction.
Anyway.
So with that amended, may please call the roll.
Okay. Bates.
Yes.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fries.
Yes.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius.
Caius, yes.
Martin.
Martin, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Sanchez.
Yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Sturgis.
Sturgis, yes.
Tepe.
Deputy, yes.
Davist.
Davist, yes.
Shepro.
Pepro, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, minutes are approved. Are there any public comments from those in person or from those in writing or online? Seeing none. And Mr. Onzek is not going to be here to present the financials as I shared with you earlier. So we'll move on from that. Is there any old business? Any new business to discuss? Just moving along here. Very good. Now we're going to be moving to our consent agenda. Mr. Martin, would you like to present the two items that you'd like to move forward?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I'll move both of these. Request a second.
I'll second it.
First being an ordinance that establishes a special service area for a community water system in an unincorporated pocket within the city of Aurora. And the second is the approval of a special service area also to provide services not otherwise provided by tax dollars.
Is there any discussion on those items? Hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bates.
Yes.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Fries.
Yes.
Gums.
Drums, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius.
Caius, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Burgess, yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Davist,
Davis, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Thank you.
They pass. Mr. Shepherd, could you please present these two items?
Yes, Madam Chairman, thank you. There are two items on the executive portion of the agenda. Both are authorizing people that are necessary. In the case of the purchasing director previously had been terminated, and this authorizes a replacement. And as you may have seen, if you saw the emails from Mr. Sanchez and others, it will be necessary to have some temporary help from for staff to assist in the rollout of the American Rescue Plan and its consideration by the committee and this board. So I would move both of those as a single item. They both are proper under the hiring freeze and appropriate for this time. So I will so move and ask for a second.
Raz
Second,
seconds.
Berman.
Raz seconds.
That was with great enthusiasm. I do have a question regarding the temporary hire for the American Rescue Plan Committee. Just the hourly compensation. Could we, I know it's set here, but is there any opportunity for a little bit of flexibility with that once we pass that? Because I want to make sure that an appropriate candidate is hired. So I don't want to limit it to that rate and not go much higher, obviously, but would there be flexibility with that?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Of course, please.
If I could just to amend that right now, as if Mr. Shepro would change his motion to reflect that amendment. If I could also have a second to increase it to 25 an hour. I think that was what should have been originally put on there, and it's at 20.
Okay.
I would accept that amendment.
Okay.
Raz seconds.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. All right. So let me just write that down. If there's no further discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Bates,
Yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fries,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Burgess, yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Thank you.
And as a quick update, as we look at staffing. for
Davis,
the
yes.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Davis. At the ARP, when you go upstairs towards the mailroom, you may notice some construction is happening. What we're doing is that we're opening up the room so that we can fit up to 3 employees there, temporary employees, so that they will have a place to work. And I think that'll be very comfortable for them. And that'll also can be used as a meeting for staff if they would like to meet there as well, because we have a table that's already available. So, and for storage. So if you go up there, that'll be the official ARP. Rooms to the left will remain for future PIO or other staffing opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
So welcome, take a look. And I think you'll like the new little improvements at a very low cost. Mr. Berman, you've got 20 items.
Yes, I'd like to move those 20 items together, unless somebody would like to separate one or two or whatever.
Second. Sanchez seconds.
Is there any discussion on these, or you just want to move them? Yes.
Thank you. Well, Nikki here. Just a quick question. Number 3 is authorizing budget adjustment for COVID-19 contact tracing services. I just recall that it was a large amount of stimulus, our first package of stimulus funds that we received. I think like 8 million went to contact tracing. So I'm just curious what adjustments being made. if somebody has
I can
the
answer
answer to that.
Sanchez here.
Yeah.
This is actually us accepting more money from the state of Illinois for the contact tracing services.
Oh, okay.
Because they provided a lot of funding up until this point. That's run out. So this is us receiving more.
Oh, good, Jared. Thank you.
I didn't do it, but
You
I'm
didn't do
happy
it.
to say yes.
And we have, what is the name of the new variant
Delta.
of the COVID?
The Delta
One-
variant.
The Delta variant, thanks.
And Delta Plus.
And Delta Plus. Well, Delta and Delta Plus apparently is the #1 variant that's out there right now. I heard 52% of those people who are getting COVID are getting it from Delta or Delta Plus. So once again, encouraging everybody to make sure that if they can get vaccinated and willing to do so. So great question. Great question. Anything else? We're just moving along here at a fast pace, which is lovely. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fries,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Burgess, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Davist,
Davis, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Mr. Surges?
We have on the agenda this morning just a housekeeping issue for the policy, employee policy.
Microphone,
handbook.
Mr. Surges, please.
Can you hear me? Is that better?
Yes.
An update to the policy handbook prohibiting harassment. I think at some point in time, this may have been called sexual harassment, and it's now a little bit broad-based. In the packet, page 159, it is going past harassment in terms of race, color, religion, sex, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, pregnancy, order of protection status, national origin, ancestry, and the list goes on. So I'm just looking for a second to make this housekeeping amendment and seek out there anybody who has not completed your sexual harassment training this year. Although we're ahead of the curve, I know that we have people on the list that have not completed it. So
Kenyon, I would second that.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Kenyon. Ms. Labrillo is here. Do you want her to speak to this, or are we
she's
fine?
welcome to. Hey, Jamie.
I can answer any questions if anyone has any questions about it, but like Mr. Surges said, this is really just housekeeping to get compliant with the statutes and make sure that we are prohibiting harassment under any of the protected categories in the Human Rights Act.
And could you just list those categories quickly again, please?
The categories are race, color, religion, sex, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, pregnancy, order of protection status, national origin, ancestry, age, disability, marital status, citizenship, military status and service, veteran status, political affiliation, and then we include the catch-all of any other characteristic as protected by law. But that is a complete list with the law right now.
Very good. Yes.
As Mr. Shepro, as Mr. Surges alluded, what used to be limited to sexual harassment, I believe this definition basically encompasses what we used to refer to as a hostile work environment, and therefore encompasses every type of potential harassment, whether sexually motivated or otherwise.
And if somebody is harassed, what are the reporting procedures? Perceived to be harassed.
The reporting procedures are included in the policy, and that has been updated to make sure it's very accessible by employees. There's also an appendix that was added that will be kept updated that includes all of the department heads and a phone number and email address to contact them to make sure that employees have all the information that's necessary to contact someone in authority. So the policy indicates that they can contact their own department head, they can contact human resources, they can contact a member of the board, lets them know there are multiple people that they can contact if they feel they've been harassed.
And if you hear that report, what is responsibility, next
So-
steps?
So depending on who the harasser is, it includes that you should never go back to that actual harasser to make that report or pass that report on, but rather to then investigate and determine the next steps based on that investigation.
Is that required reporting? If you receive
If you receive a
notification?
report, yes, it is required to investigate the matter and to, generally speaking, you would have to put the harasser on some kind of administrative leave or make sure that that harassment is stopped immediately and make sure that everything is handled immediately and then followed up on.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Madam
Thank
Chair, I
you.
know it sounds cliche, but we've tried to build so much into this, and I guarantee you we've missed something. I mean, 6 months from now, a year from now, somebody will come back and go, why didn't you include that? We did the best we could with the information we have at this snapshot in time, and I'm sure the bar will move one more time in years to come, so.
I'm sure. Or we all learn to treat each other with dignity and respect.
Gums,
with
I have
the
one
exception of
question.
Kenyon, I guess, but
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
That would be the exception.
Yes, Mr. Shepard.
Yeah, I guess a question occurred to me as you described what happens if a complaint is made. Is the mere making of an allegation require the alleged harasser to be placed on administrative leave?
That would be dependent on the circumstances. So it would have to be a decision made at the time based on the circumstances, but you do give it full credibility when it's made to make sure that that employee is not exposed to the person that they feel is harassing them while an investigation is done.
And I believe it's now clear that there is, if the person who is the harasser is in the chain of command, if you will, there's a way for the victim to go to someone else to make that complaint.
That's correct. So we've included a number of options. So in addition to their department head, then they also have human resources if that person happens to be their department head. They also have the option of going to the county's ethics advisor to make a report. So that includes, a party outside of general chain of command that they can go to. And the policy also includes the state Illinois Department of Human Rights and the Illinois Human Rights Commission, which does give them an opportunity if they feel they cannot resolve their matter, that they have an opportunity to report that. And that's something that we need to make sure we know, have our employees have that information. So that's in the policy as well.
Fair to say that we tried to make this as accessible and transparent as is humanly possible.
And this information will be disseminated clearly to all of our employees.
Yes, as soon as it's officially adopted by the board, the handbook will be amended, and as has been done in the past, it'll be sent out as a handbook amendment to all employees.
Very good, excellent.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
as to Mr. Sturgis's,
Name, please. Mr. Name. Your name.
Chris Caius.
We didn't recognize you.
Yeah, there's no hair. Mr. Sturgis mentioned the training is available. The training is available on a serious subject. The training is available, and I would like to point out, I believe if it's correct, Jamie, that it is required. We may be ahead of the curve, but it's required by all employees and personnel to have, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So it does explicitly state in the statute that every employee is required to complete a sexual harassment training.
So if you haven't done it, make sure you get it done, not just to be ahead of the curve. We should have
Human
100% compliance.
Yes, and Human Resources does plan to follow up. We can tell it by employee name and department who has completed the training, and we will be following up with the individuals who have not completed the training to make sure they get it done.
Is there a deadline for board members to complete the training? I seem to recall there is.
Although the legal deadline would be the end of the calendar year, so it just says annually in the statute. Human Resources has a plan to actually follow up starting in August, just to make sure that we are able to give people time, reminders and notices to get that finished. So we plan to set a deadline actually at the end of August to try to get everyone in so that we can follow up with individuals after that.
Madam Chair, Strathman here.
Yes, Ms. Strathman.
I completed it so long ago, but I still get the email about it. And it would be helpful if there was a follow-up so that those of us who have completed it do not get the follow-up email or to continue to get the email asking us to take it. With all the busyness, I'm thinking, did I do it? And I'm sure I did, but I still get the email. So it'd be nice if we could.
Surges here. We've really tried to smooth this process out, and each year we get a little bit better at it. But if you have those, if you could respond to Human Resources and just say, pull me from that list, we're happy to manually remove you from that. And while in an ideal situation, those would be removed automatically, they're just not always happening. So
Okay, thank you. I will
happy to
do
do
that.
it though. Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Gums, I have a question.
I'm sorry, is somebody want to have another comment?
Gums, yes.
Oh, yes, Ms. Gums.
I might be opening up a can of worms here, so I apologize. But on page 3, it says documentation of any kind may be submitted with any report.
Ms. Gums, can you speak a little bit louder? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yes, sorry about that. On page 3 of this, it says documentation of any incident may be submitted with any report. I know may and shall, the words sometimes matter. And this kind of caught my attention because I don't want it to be optional for somebody to submit documentation. I think it should be shall instead of may. And then also under employees may report conduct, I also agree that with myself that it should be shall instead of may. I don't think it should be an option. That's a can of worms, just throwing it out there, and those are my comments.
Ms. Gums, Vincent, are you in the room? Why did we use shall instead of may?
May.
I'm sorry, opposite, may instead of shall?
Vincent Qua on behalf of the, I'm Assistant State Attorney with the King County State Attorney's Office. We would recommend keeping the language the way it is to may. You don't want, I believe the case law has indicated that you can't require someone who's complaining of sexual harassment to require them to give this sort of documentation. And certainly you don't want to have a chilling effect on individuals who are maybe reluctant to come and make a complaint. So keeping the language as may is recommended over shall.
Okay, very good. I knew it would be a can of worms. It just stuck out to me that we don't want any supervisors to have that option to say, well, I didn't include that because I didn't think it was important. That just came to my mind, so.
I was hoping you'd razz Vincent a little bit more. He keeps getting
Well,
off
you
pretty
know.
easy here. So
He's the smart guy.
Well, we don't want to harass our attorneys. Is there any other comment? Yes.
Does this policy apply
Name,
only
please.
to Sanchez? Does this policy only apply to full-time employees, or is it also for part-time employees, temp hires, contractors?
It would apply to all employees.
All.
Yes.
Including independent contractors.
my understanding was if you get a check,
Yes.
you're in compliance.
Yes. I agree. Yes. It would apply to everyone.
Okay,
If we could call the roll, if there's no other questions.
please.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fries,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro, yes.
Thank you.
Jamie and Vincent, thank you so much for all the effort on this. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Good discussion. Mr. Froz.
Yeah, Fries speaking, transportation agenda. We have a fairly easy July agenda because items 1 through 7 of 9 are all township transportation projects. KDOT oversees the distribution of motor fuel tax funds to the townships. And these are all projects as requested by the township highway departments. Item 8 is a 49,000 and change paperwork addition for our engineering firm. This is for the Bliss Main Fabian realignment. And the good news is if you spend this 49,000 plus dollars, you get 11 million or so from the federal government for the project. So this is in order to fill out the additional paperwork to comply with the federal regulations to receive those funds. Item 9 is a $245,288 land acquisition for 6.5 acres. This is related to the Bunker Road extension. That's just west of the LaFox train station, connecting Bunker Road to LaFox. And that's all I have.
Transportation is always the most interesting committee.
Yeah.
If we spend 78,000, can we get 22 million?
That wasn't an option. You'll have to contact the Representative Underwood. So yeah, I will move all 9 items.
Surge's second.
Mr. Surge's second. There's no further discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Gums,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surges,
Surges, yes.
Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Davist.
Davis, yes.
Thank you.
Passes. Now, is there any need for an executive session? I'm not aware of any. No. Are there any additional committee reports? Yes, Mr. Surges.
We have we are in the stages of planning our employee picnic appreciation day, 20 and 30 year acknowledgement dates. In the past, we've always done a special board meeting here to acknowledge, here's your special cookie, thanks for 20 years. This year, we're going to put that into a barbecue, if you will, grill out here at the facilities here, inviting employees in. Ms. Gums has volunteered to assist the committee in helping take the lead on that. I think we need to, we're in a little bit of I don't know what the right word here is, trying to decide if it's better to do it at lunch or like a 4 o'clock deal for people to come, and we're trying to wrangle that. And I believe what we decided was the most appropriate way is to reach out to the department heads and ask them what they felt would have the most participation. It's going to be a fun event post-COVID. We appreciate you being here and all you do for the county. And I just wanted to acknowledge, and Gummy, do we have a date?
We do have a date. It's going to be August 19th. And the feedback that we're getting is mostly the noontime slot. I think that employees are more apt to come. It's kind of a perk, right? If you're an employee, you get a little bit longer lunch and come and enjoy a meal. It's going to be a lot of fun. You board members are going to be laughing by the end of it. But yeah, so it'll be, I think we're going to go more to the noon side just from the feedback that we're getting.
Okay, and I only bring that up because I know Madam Chair was very much hoping for a 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I don't know that that's the feedback that's coming back. So don't be mad at me.
No,
I'm really
no,
trying.
Not at all.
I'm
Not
really
at all.
trying.
Not
Okay,
at all.
and
lunch is good.
Forget it.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm mad at you.
Oh, you're having fun. Come on. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I think, we have a pretty special place here, and we every one of us have given speeches and talks in front of our constituents about what a special place we live in. Well, the thing that makes it special is our people. It's that simple. It's what they do for our constituents day in and day out. And for us taking, a couple of hours to say thank you on money that's already budgeted, that does not come from taxpayer money in any way, shape, or form. It's actually coming from the vending machine money that's been accumulating for years and years, and we're just going to use a little bit of it to say thank you to everybody. So I just want to make sure that everybody knew that. And Michelle, I don't know if we've mentioned this at all, but while we're serving lunch on that day, we were very much hoping that it would be the board members, myself and Ms. Gums included, that will be serving to our employees that day. So if you are available on the 19th, we have chef's hats available with your district number on it, and we would love you to be on this side of the table, serving that side of the table. So if I could ask for your cooperation in that, that would be just tremendous. Second thing I do, I need to ask a question
Was
because
that done with what the date is as the 19th, did you say?
August 19th, yes.
Mhm.
I do have one other question, and I just had a constituent, and Jared, this is going to be pointed toward you, and I should have done this offline, but I had a good friend from Cook County ask us if our COVID sites are remaining open as compared to Cook's COVID mass vaccination sites, and how long would those be? And I said, honestly, it's not my arena. I don't have a clue. Do you have any idea on that?
We're keeping the Batavia and the Carpentersville site open through the end of the year, as far as I know. The Elgin site, have you heard
I
any?
can
Yeah.
provide an update on those.
And we can do it offline if you want. I mean, it's.
So just so everybody knows, if you have any friends needs, ours have been cut, but the only site that's open now and will remain open is the one in Batavia. But we'll have to check to make sure the hours, because thank goodness that we seem to be doing very well here in Kane County. So, but if you have a friend or whatnot from another community, this is where the site is. We have a contract with the Batavia site until November, so we're utilizing it to its full capacity, but only at limited hours. But we will think about ramping it up as we get into August, as children are going back to school and students are going back to university colleges.
Okay. And please, I want to reiterate that question was not politically motivated in any way,
Oh,
shape,
no,
or
no,
form.
no, no.
I deal with Cook County a little bit as well, and they had reached out. I said, honestly, I'll ask this morning, but I can't give you an answer. So thank you.
Chepro, in driving around, I see virtually Walgreens, the Jewel food stores, everybody is offering free vaccine, no appointments necessary. So I would think the only thing somebody who hasn't been vaccinated now needs to do is to figure out which premium they want to get if they go in and get the shot.
Okay, no, sure. Anything else? Any other committee reports? No, hearing none. May I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
I would move, Kenya moves to adjourn.
Mr. Kenyon?
Not get
Chepro
vaccinated.
seconds.
I think Mr. Davos, did you want a second?
Yes, we'll let Davis second.
Mr. Davos?
Sure.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
We almost made it before.
All in
9:30.
favor, aye?
Aye.
Have a good morning, everybody.
Not a record, I don't think.